So, confusion. One of the complaints about me using political language, which might be owned or somehow associated with conservatism, efficient government, individual liberty, these kinds of things, is that, sure, if I say it to another progressive that knows that progressives are for those things, they might understand, but I could confuse the mainstream or whatnot. Um, to me, this is a fundamental thing and very important. I consider it a discovery of mine, personal. Yes, I mean, it's a discovery. It applies to my own experiences of life. May or may not apply to other people, though I tend to think so. And it's a simple fact that all transformative learning comes from confusion. You have to become confused. At one point you support slavery, then finally you see all the straight facts, and you're like, well, you're confused about it. Now, I think people that are just anti-tax, don't believe in gay marriage, etc., and think that they're for individual liberty, they're already confused. So all I would do is bring this confusion to the surface. If they talk to me long enough, they are likely to become confused, and it is from confusion and nothing else that learning comes. Of course, it's important to, when you are confused, to try to solve it. But that's like, when you get in the car and you start the car, you got to drive somewhere. If you just get in the car and start the car, it's not that useful. Okay, so yeah, you have to go on to the next step from confusion. But there is no transformative learning without confusion. I just don't believe it. I've never seen it. I've seen people turn on a dime. I've seen Reaganites become Marxists. I've seen people, say, hey, I just realized because of this fact. And they feel their confusion is lifted, but often, no, the confusion is deeper. And the less they realize that they're confused, the more in danger they are. Because these confusions, when you don't know you're confused and you're confused, you commit logical fallacies. So just think about this, because this is not metaphorical or poetic or a poem to confusion. I believe this to be literally true. A confused state of mind is awesome. It's one of the few states of mind where the human mind knows it doesn't know. It knows it doesn't know something. It knows it's confused about something. Now, the biggest problem with confusion is if you have a bad epistemology and you don't realize there's ways to sort out confusion, just slow and steady if necessary. And you could be trapped in confusion. No, it's not good to be trapped in confusion. It's not good to be trapped just starting your car and never driving it anywhere. Okay. But, barring that, it's still true, that your transformation and your knowledge has to come from an honest state of confusion. You admitting to yourself that you can't or have not yet sorted the conflicts. Now, people tend to think that their knowledge is final, and sometimes so when they're confused, they're like, oh, it is confusing. No, it isn't confusing. You're confused about it. And you can always try to sort it out, and you can always do some amount of sorting out. That's my theory. So, so yeah, I embrace confusing them. So, comments, replies?